Hello, I'm Janet Morana, the Executive Director of Priests for Life. Welcome to our new segment. This is called Prolife Products. Because here at Priests for Life, Father Frank Pavone and I, and our full pastoral team for decades, we have been putting out brochures and books. And we actually, for our youth division, Brian Kemp, now have t-shirts. And we have a brand new look at our store. So I'd like you to visit prolifeproducts.org, where you can see our online store. So this is our August Prolife Products little special, where I'm going to highlight a few of the many things we have to offer. Well, of course, you see how I'm dressed so patriotic? Well, that's because we have an important election coming up, don't we? I mean, we're hearing a lot from the candidates. And of course, we have a great pro-life president, and we're going to be working hard to re-elect this pro-life president. But we have to first start with prayer. And at Prolife Products, we have a beautiful election prayer card written by Father Frank Pavone, our national director. It's a beautiful prayer, and it's asking God to bless our nation, to help guide us as we look at the ballot that we're going to cast our vote on, that the same eyes that we use to read the scriptures are the eyes we're going to read those candidates' names. And we don't cease to become Christians, do we, when we enter the voting booth? That's the challenge of this prayer. We'd like to send it to you for you to give out to all your friends, your prayer groups, your parish, anyone you know. Because you know what? If every day we're praying for this election, then I think we'll get positive results. We'll be able to get more pro-life candidates into office. So again, go to prolifeproducts.org and look for our prayer card, the election prayer card. We have other prayer cards up there, but this month I'm highlighting our election prayer card. Now, I mentioned that we have brochures, and the two brochures I want to highlight for this month are starting with Voting with a Clear Conscience. Now, this brochure was written by Father Pavone, and it says you can fulfill your duty to vote and can also keep a clear conscience in the process. And that's what this brochure tells you to do. There's 10 easy steps. It gives you inside here things like to know the candidates, reject the disqualified, distinguish policy from principle, weigh other issues properly. And there's 10, like I said, 10 totally different suggestions that are in this brochure, and it will help you to take your Christian and Catholic conscience into the voting booth and get the job done. So again, voting with a clear conscience. Again, great brochure. Go to prolifeproducts.org and place an order for this brochure. Another good brochure Father Pavone's written is, this is one of my favorites, 10 responses to pro-abortion politicians. I mean, come on. Don't we get frustrated about these pro-abortion politicians? Like, how can they? Now things have gotten worse than ever before. Now the Democratic Party has said they're in favor of abortion. They've made it quite clear through all 9 months of pregnancy up to birth. You've heard so many of these candidates saying that quite clearly. That's frightening, isn't it? Well, and then very often you might have sent a letter in the past to these candidates and they say, well, we're sorry you feel that way, but we have to represent all the voters and et cetera, et cetera. What this brochure does is it gives you the line that they give you, but it gives you a new way to answer back that pro-abortion politician. So again, 10 responses for pro-abortion politicians written by Father Frank Pavone. Again, we'd like to make that available to you. Go to prolifeproducts.org for this great brochure. Now, also, again, we're in the election cycle, and we have for you, this will be out probably by Labor Day weekend, but you can place an advance order now. This is our party comparison, and we've been waiting to do a new version. This is the version we did in 2016, because every 4 years, the parties redo their platforms. They make slight little tweaks or changes. Now, the Republican Party has already voted to keep their party platform the same. So they're pro-life. And, this brochure picks several different issues. Now, the Democratic Party, though, they're still in their period of time right now, when I'm taping this program, where they're finalizing any changes they're making to their party platform. As soon as that's done, we will write the words, that's what this is, the words from their party platform, and we will do several issues, like, for example, we'll show how do the parties feel about human life, Planned Parenthood, judges, religious liberty, and of course abortion. And then what we're going to be doing is put six issues on one side, and then on the other side we're going to do the same 6 issues in Spanish. So this one flyer will be both in English and in Spanish, absolutely free of charge to you. What we're asking right now for you to go to prolifeproducts.org and place an advanced order. We'd like you to get this out far and wide to show the stark difference right now between the Republican and Democrat Party. Oh, and by the way, this brochure is 501c3 friendly, which means for nonprofit groups and churches, you can use this brochure. And you might say, well, how do you know that, Janet? That's because we give it to several legal experts to scrutinize it, to make sure it's 501c3 friendly, and that's why we can, and we even have those letters on our website for you to view. So again, the party comparison, brand new 2020 version will be out by Labor Day weekend, but so that we get it rushed to you as soon as possible, place your order now for the party comparison. It's a great tool to get people to vote the correct way. Thanks. Okay, and then Father Pavone wrote a really, really good book. It's called Abolishing Abortion. Father Frank likes to call this a pro-life manifesto. This shows you really the strategy of what we need to do to abolish abortion now in our lifetime. He also talks in depth about the Johnson Amendment. You might have heard a lot of talk about the Johnson Amendment, which was passed back in the 60s, and it basically tried to put a gag order on clergy in the pulpit. Father Pavone goes in depth about that and how President Trump signed an executive order. He couldn't undo the amendment. That's for Congress. But what he did was he said, we will not criticize clergy from preaching from the pulpit about these important election issues. So again, from the pulpit, you can't say I endorse so-and-so, but you certainly can preach about the issues. And again, abolishing abortion, it really goes into other strategies too. So again, Father Frank would love to send this to you. And of course, he'll personally autograph it for you also. So again, go to prolifeproducts.org to order Abolishing Abortion. Now, I mentioned that we have at our pro-life youth outreach, Brian Kemper, part of our ministry. He designs T-shirts, and now we have a full line of T-shirts, and I just want to highlight a few of them to you today. The first one I'm going to show you, it says, I am the generation that will abolish abortion. See it? I'll hold it up. You don't need to see Janet. You need to see the shirt. See, I'm the generation that will abolish abortion. And this is a great shirt for our young people to wear, isn't it? Because what they're saying is, we're taking responsibility, and in our lifetime, we're going to see abortion abolished. It's a great thing to get your young people as they're going back to school, for areas of the country where they're going to be allowed to open the schools. Walk in with a pro-life T-shirt, and that would really send a great message. We have a few others I want to show you today. This one here is one of my favorites. It says, I survived Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade will not survive me. And again, this is the concept that these young people are saying, yes, anyone born after 1973 is a survivor. They survived after it became legal in our country to kill a baby. So they survived Roe v. Wade. But what they're saying is, Roe v. Wade's not going to survive in my lifetime. I'm going to see it brought to an end. So again, for our young people, another great T-shirt, right? I survived Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade will not survive me. And of course, all our T-shirts are available in sizes small, medium, large, extra large, and we even have XXX. So great line of T-shirts. And one which kind of I love. And it's because we have such a great pro-life president, we're asking everyone to do what? Pray for 45. Pray for 45. Why? Well, why 45? Well, President Trump is the 45th president of this United States of America. And so what a simple activity to do. Pray for our president. You know, he's the most pro-life president we've ever had. I mean, more pro-life, I'm sorry, than Ronald Reagan, more pro-life than President Bush, both George W. and his dad. And you might say, well, why is that, Janet? Well, very simply, during the debates, he did not get squeamish about talking about abortion. He challenged Hillary Clinton. But since he's been in office, he's done the most for the pro-life movement ever. First of all, the first time a president ever attended the March for Life, he attended and gave a speech. And the speech was so great, I said to Father Frank, it sounded like you could have written that speech, Father Frank. So it was a great speech. What else has he done? Oh, let's see. He's appointed 2 Supreme Court justices and over 200 judges to the federal bench. Not to mention, he saved the Little Sisters and Priests for Life and all these other organizations from the Obama HHS mandate. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on, what our president has done for the pro-life movement. And I'm praying for 4 more years of progress that we can see an end to abortion in my lifetime. So we've got to be praying for the president because he's under so much attack. So Pray for 45 is a great, great T-shirt that we have. Pray for 45. Love it. So again, all the T-shirts are available in small, medium, large, extra large, and XXL. And you go to prolifeproducts.org. I'd like to switch gears a little bit now to one of our executives here at Priests for Life is also a famous author. Yes, evenings and weekends he writes books. His name is Anthony DeStefano, and his newest book, you're going to find this very intriguing. It's called Hell, a Guide. Now you might say, who wants to read a guide about hell? But this is, I've already started reading it. I'm about up to the 3rd chapter. And it's very interesting because what Mr. DeStefano does, he really shows basically how did we end up with hell? What happened? And you realize that, God created the angels. And as we all know, they were the good angels and the fallen angels. It was Lucifer and the angels that really, they challenged God, if you could imagine that. Imagine they got to know God, see God, and still rejected God. So in this book, Anthony really goes into it, DeStefano, about the depths to which the evil lurks around the world and what hell is really about and like. And it also gives you then, if you know what it's about, you know how to avoid it. It gives you some great spiritual guide in this book, how to avoid going to hell. I mean, I don't think any of us would really want to go there at all. I mean, that's the one thing, you will say to people, will say, well, of course I don't want to go to hell, but what are you doing to make sure you don't go there? Well, Anthony's book really provides a lot of insight, and it's gotten some great endorsements. One of them is from Mike Huckabee, as you know, former governor of Alabama. So again, Anthony DeStefano's book, Hell, a Guide, and you can order that at prolifeproducts.org. I don't want to forget the children either watching, because again, Anthony DeStefano has also written adult books, but also children's books, and they're my favorite. His newest book is really one of my favorites. It's called Our Lady's Wardrobe. This book is just so beautiful. In fact, I'm going to show you some of the illustrations. The concept here is, as you know, our Blessed Mother appeared many times so far through history, and Mary always looked slightly different when she had these apparitions. What Anthony does is he starts out the book by showing our Blessed Mother in a very plain outfit. And this was typical of the women of Jerusalem at the time our Blessed Mother was on earth. And so the concept here is that when Our Lady lived on the earth, she had this very common outfit. But then, all right, we're going to turn the pages here. When she was assumed into heaven, it shows her looking at her beautiful wardrobe. Beautiful, beautiful wardrobe. And the idea here is every time she appeared in one of these apparitions, she had a different outfit on. So like, for example, this one talks about Our Lady of Mount Carmel, where she's holding the child Jesus in her arms. Isn't that beautiful? The illustrations in this book are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And this is a great way of introducing a child to our Blessed Mother. And of course, for us pro-lifers, we know who this is, Our Lady of Guadalupe. And of course, we know the story of that. She appeared to Juan Diego in Mexico. Here's a beautiful, beautiful picture there of Juan Diego, right? And holding his tilma that held the roses. And of course, inside the tilma was then the image of Our Lady. And then, of course, we have the miraculous metal image. All right, and see how beautiful these images are? So again, this is a great children's book. It really shows you all the many times that the Blessed Mother has appeared here during these. Here's another one, Our Lady of Lourdes over in France. And again, the book is called Our Lady's Wardrobe. We'd love for you to be able to send this copy of this to you also. So again, at prolifeproducts.org, this month is the month of August that we're filming this for the first time. And all I did was I took out some key products just to draw your attention to them. But if you go to our online store, which has a whole new look, we've just totally redesigned the store. It's much easier to shop now. The images are crisper and clearer, and the categories are well, defined up there. So you'll be able to really go shopping. And so again, go to prolifeproducts.org, where you can see these and so many other products. And again, I'm Janet Morano, the Executive Director of Priests for Life. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, enjoy prolifeproducts.org.